All right. Here we are. Good. Shrink this down. This is what we like. Good morning, if anybody's here yet. Let's do this. Let's do this damn thing. We'll see if it doesn't blow up my computer. Let's see. There we go. All right. No problems here. I know it's a little early. A little bit early. I wonder if... Oh, not that bad. Kind of want to do this. Not bad. What's up, guys? I see there's 4 people watching. I'm really just trying to figure this out. I haven't streamed so long. I'm just making sure that that my computer doesn't crash. Hey, what's up, Kenny B. Arrow? What's up? I'm doing this on just my hold on, I got double playback happening here. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me? I'm trying to run a lot of stuff right now on just my MacBook. So, I mean, I could show you. I'm going to be featuring the Bookmap that I use. So this is Bookmap. So I use this a bunch as well. And this pulls a lot of data off my little MacBook Pro, not to mention the stream, not to mention the brokerage. So I'm going to try and stream this. And I mean, the markets are open. I figured if I'm going to be sitting here watching it, I might as well try and go live with it and see how that goes. So yeah, if you have any questions about what we're looking at, what I'm doing, I'm pretty much going to try and use you guys to drive the conversation. I just recorded a dividend video that's going to be coming out later today, but thank you very much, Junkie. Yeah, options are great. I love the wheel. I'll be doing the wheel forever, guys. I'm not going to stop doing the wheel. But the day trading thing, it's nice. It's something just to do during the day. I'm probably going to stay on here for maybe an hour or so, 2 hours. I have daily loss limits and daily profit targets. If you have any questions about that, I am fully open to talking about them. So that's not really a big deal. I'll give you some little background here on what you're looking at, and like I said, you can leave any questions you have in the chat if you want or have any extended questions. Right now, I'm looking at the ES futures, so that's essentially what you guys are going to see. I have pretty much 4 or 5 different time frames that I'm going to be using today. We'll start at the biggest one because that's really where I start my day. And you can see there's not a lot going on here. Depending on your brokerage and what you use, they are going to go back a certain amount of time. I tend to use TradingView on a longer time frame, so I don't need to pay for the additional data to go back too far. So this is pretty much going to give me about 10 days. And it just gives me a short-term daily profile. And as we can see on this, guys, the ES, we haven't moved in like a week, it feels like. We had a little bit of fluctuation back here on the 15th, but we really haven't moved. The last 4 trading days have been brutal. If you just started trading futures this week, it's been really, really shitty because it's just been, straight across. If we cut down to the hour timeline, these were some things I was talking about in my Discord, and we actually draw this trend. I think on Friday was the first time we drew it, and we had this huge level, which is still very important that we're pulling out of right now. Right at that 39.60, 39.70 level has been really, really, really strong, even going back until the 10th of November. But we had a nice flush, and what I was looking for through this level, as I was explaining when I first drew this chart, I was looking for a retest. I'm a big break and retest guy. There's people that talk about it. Vincent, what's up, buddy? The options insider. He pretty much is the king of the break and retest right now. But I was looking, I think when I first drew this, to come up, test, and then we were looking for more downside. Or I was looking for it to come up through this level like we kind of did here, but even a little bit stronger, maybe up to these highs, and then come back down and test it as support again before going to the upside. But then yesterday I was like, all right, maybe we'll just chop around a little bit more. And then I think last night I was like, fuck it, we're just going straight across. We got nothing else going on. So this is pretty much what my trading plan has been for the last couple of days, is really wait to see what happens at this 39.70 level. That's been pretty much, it acted as support, and now it's kind of like resistance, and it's kind of just been chopping around here. I think yesterday's value area had like a 15-point range, which is pretty small even for the ES. If we come down to the 15-minute, which is where I'll go next, and then you'll start to see some supply and demand zones. I like to try and trade out of supply and demand. I have videos on this channel about supply and demand. And we can see down here 39.50. We see coming down and touching a bunch of times. And we know, if we know anything about supply and demand, the more that these zones start to get tested and touched, the more we're going to see them kind of break. And we can see this level that I brought up here even closer now, 39.70. We're pulling out of that now. And this is kind of a don't diddle in the middle for me. I would love to see strength above like 4,000. I would love to come up, test this level, and then see some more upside, maybe up to here to 415. That's kind of like my ideal trade for the day. I have a couple of zones marked out just as highs of the day. Profit targets if I'm inside a trade that I might want to look for and that I might want to do. But I mean, I think ideally what I'd like to see is this start to rip out and then come back. And I need to know what happens at 39.70 before I can really take a trade that I'm going to try and go for 5 or 10 points. If it's going to be a scalp, or if I see something off the VWAP or something like that, I'm not going to say I'm not going to take a trade today. I've actually taken one pre-market trade that I think got me $8.80. It was a break-even trade. You'll see it on the smaller time frame. And then this screen, guys, I watched the NQ just because they're correlated. But this is a diddle in the middle. I need to see what happens as we approach 39.90, and I have to see if we can break below 39.70 and show weakness down into this zone again. Because zooming out, you can see there's really no reason to be going short if it's above 39.42, in my opinion. Can you see that? Let me. I don't think you could see the. Let's do this. There we go. All right, so that's what I was saying. The 39.42 over here. So unless I'm down below here, and you can see why, right? Because we had support, 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 support. So until we break below this and then even come back and retest it as resistance, that's really when I'd be looking to go short on this side. But I have a feeling it's going to be like yesterday. I took like 2 trades and for like $35 yesterday, and it was one of those where I didn't want to force trades. I didn't want to overtrade, so I just got the hell out of there quick and took my little bit of money and got out of there. The 5-minute, I started to learn on the 5-minute. It's kind of like what I became comfortable with, but the more and more I use it, I definitely have. I thought I was going to be like holding trades a little bit longer, so I thought the 5-minute would be good. I've been really, really relying on the 3-minute, and I guess it's the best of both worlds between the 5-minute and the 3-minute. I have 5-minute and the 1-minute. The 1-minute's still a little noisy for me. The 3-minute just gives me what I need to see. I use the VWAP, which you can see, that's the white line. The blue line is the 9 EMA. Those are really the only 2 averages that I use. To be honest, I might get rid of the 9 soon. I really love the VWAP. I'll always use that. And then as far as like the MACD on the bottom, I don't even really look at it. The reason I put the MACD on, and I heard somebody say, maybe it was Trades by Matt, he said that traders go through this cycle of indicators where when you start trading, you have your chart is just cluttered, and then everyone makes fun of you as you learn. So then you're like, I'm going to trade the chart naked. No indicators, nothing, just price action and volume. And then you realize that sometimes the indicators help you for whatever reason that really don't necessarily align with what that indicator means. My dog's going crazy. Kilo. But, I pretty much use it as a reminder not to trade against the trend. That's what I use the MACD for. I'm not looking for MACD crosses and things like that. It's just a general reminder to me to make sure that I'm not trading against the trend. That's the only reason I have the MACD up there. Hey, good morning, Robin. How are you today? So this is the 5-minute. And you'll also see me pop 2 more indicators up here that, will appear as the market opens. So right now, this is the overnight session. If I scroll out, you'll see these red lines, the yellow line and the green line. Okay, these are going to be first the yellow line, the point of control. That is the most volume conducted at that price for the current trading session. Then we'll have value area high, value area low. 75% of all volume happens in between these range. They're just kind of, once again, reminders. They're not entries for me. They don't make me take trades. All right. But it's very, very hard for me to go long as we approach value area high. I want to see us come out of that value area high and then make a direction. It's also very hard for me to trade around point of control. That's diddling in the middle. So once again, I'm not using them for entries per se. I'm just using them as reminders, and also with all these other things going on to make sure that I'm just staying along my lines. I'm going to be doing a video about how I choose my daily loss limit in the next couple, I can't say days, in the next week or so. Today, my daily loss limit is somewhere around $400, and that's going to change every single day. I wasn't doing that, and I was finding out that was not good. I was losing. For anybody that needs to know what time it is or what the delay is that you're seeing, there is a clock up here. All right, so currently right now it is 9:08 in the morning. Markets are going to open here in about 20 minutes. This is what I'm watching to make sure my computer's not going to explode. If this starts to stop, or if I feel the chart getting choppy because I'm overloading my computer with the live stream, I'll probably have to shut it down and maybe ask for a computer for Christmas. But yeah, you guys have any questions about anything I just showed you there? Let's go down to the 3-minute. Here's a trade I took this morning. I was using the Bookmap, and I can go back to this. This was 7:45 in the morning. So let me show you the Bookmap quick, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about, and also how I use the Bookmap to trade. So this is Bookmap. It's not, I don't think it's necessarily needed per se. It helps me. So some of you have seen level twos or know what level twos are and the DOM and things like that. And essentially what we're looking at is along the right-hand side, these are limit orders. So we know that the market fluctuates according to market orders, buys and sells. But you can also place limit orders, and when a price hits that limit, you will enter or exit. What this shows visually is this shows all of the quote blocks that are sitting at certain price points. And these price points are going to give us some sort of direction, or they act sometimes as magnets. When we see big blocks, we see price tend to go towards these magnets. All right, so we see this really big block down here at 39.70. We see another big blocks up here that was kind of acting as resistance. But we use this in conjunction because it doesn't always act as support and resistance. As we approach levels, we will see these green and red dots. All those are volume. And the bigger the green circle, the bigger the volume. So as we approach a level, we will watch and see if we approach all of as we're coming up, right? These are all going to be sells. Above price action is sells, below or buy. So as we approach these levels, if we start to see a bunch of buy orders coming in, we know that we're absorbing all of those limit orders with market orders, and the price is going to most likely continue upwards. That's when we see a big jump. If you've ever been watching a chart and you see it just flush quickly, that's when we absorb a bunch of limit orders that are on the chart. My trade today happened at 7:45 in the morning, so I have to go back a little bit. And essentially what I wanted to see was we were coming up into the zone and we hit resistance. We came down. This was kind of the VWAP at that time. And as it approached, I went long to see if we would absorb these market orders, okay? And I wanted to know if we did so. So I went, as we started to go the volume green here, I entered right here with a stop right below, okay? As we approached, I saw that the red bubbles started to come back in, and it was going to act as resistance again. That allowed me to exit the trade, and I got out pretty much break even. All right, and as we can see, we came up. Now to break through that level, you see this huge orange, this huge green. That was a ton of buyers that came through that level. As we approached the next level, we needed green buyers to break that level. We absorbed those orders, but not enough. The sellers came in. As we approached this red, we saw a big volume of green, which showed that I was trying to fight to the upside. This is where we're going to watch. But then, boom, the sellers came right back in and said, nope, we're not going to do that. And then throughout the morning, and this gets a little bit more violent when the markets are actually open. But as we came down, we see it acting, VWAP acting as support. And then we can see it came up. It absorbed buyers, some sellers as a pullback. Then the buyers came back in, buyers. Sellers came for a pullback to try and gain control again. And this is the game that just happens in the market. The real reason I love Bookmap as opposed to regular level ones and level twos in the DOM is that it gives you that past history. So when you're looking at the DOM, you don't see what orders were sitting around here at 8:19 in the morning. You only see the current orders that are on the books right now. So you're going to hear me mention things as we start to place trades. This is how I pick my targets. If I was going to go long here, I would target probably just below this, and I would watch and see what would happen as we approach this. Are we seeing a lot of green bubbles that might absorb all of these limit orders, or are those green bubbles getting smaller and red are going to come in? And that's how I know that I need to get out. This software has really, the biggest thing it's done for me is it's allowed me to hold trades longer as I watch it try and fight through different zones of liquidity. All right, if that makes any sense. So that's really why I like it the most. It's really helped me stay in trades that I otherwise would have got out of. Let's see, I think literal blow up is possible. Yeah, I'm running that Bookmap, this stream, and my brokerage all on my MacBook Pro. So yeah, it's pretty brutal. But thank you. There's 10 people watching here, guys. It only has 1 thumbs up. There's 10 of you watching. You know, boost my ego a little bit. Make me want to do this again tomorrow. Give me a thumbs up if you're watching. And please, Just shoved a lot at you. Maybe that will become a video, but I just shoved a lot at you. If you have any questions about any of that, if not, go grab a cup of coffee. We'll be sitting here for a little bit, and we'll kind of watch and see. I'm not opposed to taking a trade pre-market, but I think there's a pretty good chance that I'm gonna probably wait until the market opens. Let that first 5 minutes of volatility happen. We are trending upwards. So some other things that you're going to see on the screen. We have the bid and the ask. You can see futures pretty much a 0.25 bid-ask spread this early in the morning. Sometimes it'll go up. The markets in the pre-market are slightly up, so you'll see a slight gap on the SPY if you trade the SPY when the market opens in a few minutes. ES is the index that I'm trading, the SPY. Z is the month of expiration, December, and this is the year 2022. I kind of want to put some tunes on. Let me see if I can find some like lo-fi beats that are non-copyrighted. What was that? I remember. I'm pretty sure that this is copyright free. Yeah. I like to listen to lo-fi when I'm trading. Keeps my brain nice and chill. But I'm going to have to learn. Can y'all hear that or no? I would play it through my computer, but I'm not stressing my computer out with anything else. Oh, I know what just happened. Okay. There we go. No, Robin, no school today. Or tomorrow. And if I like this enough, maybe I won't go back. It was nice. My kids did have school today, so I got up this morning. Had a nice slow morning. Got them to school a little bit late. Didn't have to rush them out. Got some awesome exercise in this morning. Mile streak day 156. And recorded a dividend video that's going to come out at 3 p.m. today. And then, doing this. What's up, CR? Yeah, I can go back and show Bookmap again real quick. Yeah. Oh, Robin, they're not threats. They're not threats. So, CR, I'll show the Bookmap one more time just before we get into this thing. Let me just switch back over to the Bookmap. So, real quick, and like I don't know when you entered, so you can kind of go back and see. essentially what we're looking at, and it looks way more confusing than it is. And if it's too bright and you did it, you can always change the contrast and things like that, change the size of the bubbles, whatever you want. I just pretty much went with what works on my eyes. But these are just liquidity. These are limit orders, and they're stacked limit orders, and it's pretty much a visual level 2. Over here is the current level 2, so we can see at 39.85 we have like 283 contracts that are just sitting there. Down here at 39.80, I can see that there's 165 contracts that have limit sell orders on them. So for us to move higher, buyers have to absorb all those and then continue up to the next level. And you can see they kind of act as levels of support and levels of resistance as well. So here's some resistance, came back down, acted as support. And as I mentioned, the thing I like about this over a regular standard level 2 is that you can see the history. And you can do this, like here's the NQ. You can do them for different indices. You can do them for crypto. You could do this for stocks. This is not just futures, but obviously I just trade futures. And right now I'm trading the ES just because it's a little bit cleaner for me and not as much price action. So I'm using these to target profit targets and also to stay in trades a little bit longer. And the size of the bubble is just the volume at that current moment. So obviously, if the price is going to go up, we're going to want big green bubbles. If the price is going to break down through these limit buyers, we want big sell bubbles. So like we're watching currently right now, this is the top of the range right here. This is pretty much the highs of the day right now are sitting just below this. This is pretty much highs of the day right now. So for us to break high of day, we need to get a lot of buying pressure. We need to have a lot of volume on the buy side to consume all of these limit orders that are sitting here on the books. And if we can't, if there's not enough buyers, sellers will take control again and price action will move down. You can see this perfectly on a level 2, especially if you know how to read it. It gets a little bit harder, but these blocks tend to act like magnets. Right now, I think I am more... I'm more convinced that we are going to try at market open to break through 39.80. And then if we do so, I think it's perfectly plausible for us to make a move up to 39.85 because this 278 blocks is going to act as a magnet. But we also have magnets to the downside. We have some blocks to the downside. But if we're going to get a strong move through 39.70, we need to get a strong move down. Then we're going to need a ton of sellers to absorb all of these orders down here before we can move even lower. And then you see the blocks below that, there's not much. So we see a ton of resistance, right? And look at how this zone right now is acted as resistance in the overnight session. We have a ton of resistance to the top side. So that makes it hard to really be long bias right now because we have to see it. But if the market opens and we see this red start to turn to orange, start to turn to yellow, and then start to turn to blue, we see, wow, we have a lot of strength here from the buyers. The buyers might be in control, and we might have an upward day. And you can zoom this in as much as you want. You can zoom it down to the second even if you want. These are all the buyers and sellers. As I said, it gets a little analysis paralysis when you get down this small. I like to keep them at about a quarter a point or a point. I might zoom in, but this really just helps me stay in a trade a little bit longer. If I see it start to pull back a little bit and I know that we still have a little bit of resistance down here, I might be a little less likely to pull out of a trade. And as we approach this zone, I might say, okay, we pulled through this block of 92, but it really wasn't that strong, and we still have another huge block. This might be a good time to take profits and get out of this trade before we come up into 39.80 and then we get rejected. But then again, if we get to 39.79 and we start to see these big green dots start to play in, then I'm like, okay, well, we have a lot of buying pressure. Let's see. Let's hold the trade a little bit longer and see if we could take care of this 39.79.50, 39.79.75, and then we can see what happens at 39.80. That's pretty much how I'm using the Bookmap in correlation with the brokerage. Once I enter a trade, I'm going to be honest, I don't watch P&L. I'm pretty much going to be just watching the Bookmap once I enter a trade. I'll leave it up here. I'll leave Tradovate up so you can see my position size when I'm in a trade, and you can kind of see. But when I enter a position, it'll be up here, and this will give the P&L as well right up here. But I once I'm in a trade, I'm pretty much just watching the book map. I hope that answered your question, and if you have any follow-ups, just let me know. Market about to open here in a couple minutes. Yes, CR, there is a link down in the description. It is a paid service, but they have a free trial. I'm going to be honest. Like, if you're not trading every day, or if you're not like trading often, it might be a little bit overkill. It might not be worth the price, but for what I pay for it, I make it up. You know, it's paid me back, but I'm trading every day, if you know what I mean. So I just like to show the resources, and there is a free trial. You can click the link and get a free trial if you want, if you're trading. I think you could use it maybe for swings and stuff like that. I've never really tried it for swings. I've only used it for day trading, and I've been using it for about a month. And it's also the reason, if you're in my Discord, that I've gone from trading the micros up to the minis. It's given me enough confidence to go up and trade the minis as opposed to the micro contracts and the futures. Yeah, if it's not a scalp, if I'm looking to go a little bit long term, if I'm trying to go a little bit longer with the trade, I'll switch over to Bookmap so you can see kind of what I'm watching. You'll see my eyes go like this. That means I'm watching the Bookmap. But I think generally I am a scalper. Probably 1 to 3 minutes will be the trades. I'm trying to get away from that, but in this market, that's really all I can do right now. Where y'all living these days? I mean, you guys know I'm from New York, but where are you at? I know Robin's on the East Coast too. Thank you so much. I appreciate the thumbs up. Thank you very much. Small channel. Thank you. Can't compete with all these bigger guys, you know, and bigger girls too. Humble trader. I don't think she trades live anymore, but thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. I've been kind of a dirtbag on this channel. I haven't posted in a while, but coming back. This is like, I'm going to be honest, and I've mentioned this already if you just joined. I'm pushing this with just a MacBook Pro. And if you can hear the fan, it is going. But my friend's trying to build me a computer that I can stream. Puerto Rico, yes. No, it's not flannel weather in Puerto Rico. It's freezing here. I kind of wish I need some vitamin D. But I'm trying to this is kind of like a test run for my Christmas break that's coming up in a month. I'm off for like 10 days. So I'd like to definitely do some trading. I want to start streaming live and trading more live. It's the easiest way to teach, like doing it live. And I'm also coming to the end of 1 year of day trading. Yeah, Maryland. And I think I'm going to continue to keep day trading into next year. It's crazy how a year ago I planned out this whole journey and said that I was going to get smoked the first quarter, second quarter learn my lessons, third quarter try and be profitable, consistency, and then the fourth quarter I was going to try and like get back to break even for the year. And I've done that. It's kind of when you make a plan and you think about that plan, it happens. I'm at the point now where I've withdrawn enough money out of my day trading that I've broken even for the year, which is awesome. So I know I'm at least getting out of the year like early. I mean, even, you know. Oh, Ireland, sick. My ancestors are from there. I gotta get back. I gotta get over to Ireland. I'm not very good on flights, but I'm trying. Good time to build a PC. Parts are pretty cheap. I'm doing it for a barter, so I don't know how much it's costing them to build it, but I'm bartering some pickles with him. So I hope maybe that's why he finally decided to build me the computer. Maybe it is cheap, but he says he's gonna get me a computer that I won't be able to test its limits. I said, Okay. I like the sound of that. And I'll just get him a couple pickles. Said he wants a case of pickles every day for 6 months, every month for 6 months. So that's a fair trade. Yeah, I'm Finn and Quinn on my dad's side. Finn and Quinn. And on my mother's side, I'm O'Keefe and O'Malley. So I got a couple O's on my mom's side, and I have a bunch of N's on the other side. Markets are open, guys. Markets are open. Time to play ball. Actually, let me show you this. I'll show you just how much different the book map is moving now that the markets are open. Mostly because I'm not going to take a trade in the first 5 minutes. But see, watch it as it comes up to the level. Watch what happens to the green dots. If they're green, it'll break through that level. Green, green, green. Absorbed it. But sellers came in, so we're going to come back and we're going to test again. Green. We need green to get above it. Not happening. The sellers came back and took control and pushed it back down. So it's pretty much going to go down now until we have buyers come in and start to place orders. Sell through them, coming down into VWAP. See what happens there. See this block just pop up? Now we need sellers to come down here. And even just the appearance of these in the market will push the market. Like this is a lot of stacked orders, right? So that pushes the market up, and we'll see if buyers, down here that are they going to be patient, or are they going to step in and they're going to push the market up? Still have a huge block up here. Like this is big. Now the thing with limit orders, as we know, they can be pulled, right? They can be used as threats on the market. They can be used to try and persuade and influence the market, but this is a situation where we have a little diddle in the middle. So this is not a good time to take trades. Just like supply and demand, we want to take trades as we're entering a zone and then reacting to said zone. Okay? So, that's kind of what we're going to be looking for. JJ Buckner, how we doing, buddy? Thanks for taking time out of your somewhat busy schedule to stop in and say hello. It's weird being live alone and not without you. See, so we just saw it right on the books. It popped up. Now we're going to see if buyers can fight back through that zone. They can't yet. They're trying. Sellers, boom, push it down. We had more limit orders come in. Buyers trying, absorbing, and now that big green circle absorbed all of those buy orders. So then the market will react. It'll settle up, and then we'll see if it wants to make its next move down to test the limit orders, the buy limit orders down here, or the sell limit orders up here. I'll leave this screen up actually for a minute because I'm sure you guys can all see the chart on your own screen, but not everybody has access to this. So once this came on the books, this is a huge block. Once this block came on the books, it pushed it down. And this pretty much tightens the zones here. So now we have to think to ourselves, all right, it's going to come down. If we see strength through 70, 71, 70, there's nothing to the downside that's going to stop that movement and resist it. And we have lows on, like the swing low is at 39.70 on the chart. If I show you that, 39.70. Here's that 39.70 where that block is, right? So if we push down below that block, we're going to see some pretty nice movement, probably down into the 39.65 and try and test VWAP. That's kind of what we're watching. Right now, I can't go short because if I go short, I have to break through all of that liquidity that was sitting on the book map at 70.71, and it's still there. And you might be saying to yourself, hey, Brad, could you go long there, anticipating that it's going to act as support? Absolutely. That allows you to say, all right, I think that's going to act as a really good resistance, and I'm going to go long here. And now what the Bookmap allows me to do is say, I can go long here, but if it breaks through that liquidity, I can place a really, really tight stop right there. Okay? I'm not going to do that this early in the market. There's so much volatility in the first 5 minutes. I'll put the Bookmap on. I have to go use the little boys' room quick because we have been on for half hour already. So let me put the Bookmap on. You guys can just watch that Bookmap. If you have a chart, put it up with your chart and just watch. What I want you to do is watch how it approaches levels and how these green or red dots build or shrink as we approach limit orders. I'll be back in 2 minutes. So we got 76 acting as pretty good support. But now if we come up, we get some buyers to get through 76, 77. We'll probably most likely see a move up to 80. But it's still acting as pretty good support. Might come down. Said this is a diddle in the middle, and I'm not going to touch it. If we go back to the chart now, take a look at the chart. Now we can start to see these value areas start to come in because I have them set for just the market. So as I was mentioning, tough to go short into this market, into the value area low, right? Because generally we're going to stay in this range statistically. That's how these bars are made. We still got VWAP way down there. MACD trending slightly downward. Yeah, JJ, strong stream. The market pretty much even on the day. If you're trading the SPY, you're going to see it gapped up just a little on the open, but it's pretty much come back down. This is where the futures market is, up 4, 5, or 18 points. Each point that this goes up and down is $20 US. There's 4 ticks in every point. Every point is worth $12.50. Oh, so that's not right. I'm thinking of the NQ. I'm sorry. It's $50 a point, $12.50 for each tick. So every point we go up. So right now this is a 2-point scale. So from here to here is $100. There's a bunch of liquidity stacking up at like 39.68 that I'll be watching for sure. What up, Colorado? I spent the summer in Colorado. It was awesome. I love Colorado. Welcome. Thank you so much. First time I have streamed live in a long time. So hoping to make it a little bit more. I'm going to stream tomorrow if my computer doesn't explode. It seems to be working pretty good. And then the markets are closed on Thursday. And then depending on how well Thursday goes, depending on how thankful I want to get on Thursday, we'll see if I wake up and trade the market hours on Friday. But it's a half day on Friday, so I don't know if I'm going to probably just skip it, depending on how we're doing so far. Show you the Bookmap once again, guys. It's showing like we can have a pretty strong bottom of the range here, but we do have a nice double bottom here. We'll see. Like I said, if we can flush down 39.70, we still have a lot of work to do. So even this is why trading breakouts can be dangerous, because right now this right here is the breakout. So if you see this and you're like, oh, it just broke out at 30, I'm going to go short at 39.60 on this breakout as it's doing right now. There's a huge block that, oh my gosh, it just eviscerated. See, oh, boom, boom, boom. This is a great example. So it's hard to go short there, but buyers pretty much did it, and a lot of liquidity still popped up. Now we're at the VWAP. So now I'm actually going to pay. I'm going to pay a little bit of attention here because I might want to trade off VWAP. Stand by. We did get a nice little bounce off VWAP here, and usually like the first test is a good test. But I'll see if it comes down. There's blocks at 39, 62, 147. There's a ton of blocks to the downside. And 142 just popped up at 39.60, way down here. So we'll see how that kind of affects it. Everything we're looking at right here, up until these green lines, this is all the overnight session. Okay, so this is where the market ended yesterday. And then it traded throughout the morning session, overnight session. I wouldn't mind a pullback up into 39.72-ish. Pretty much right at point of control. If we can get a pullback up to point of control, I'll see what the Bookmap does, and that might be an area now where I might want to go short. I don't know. They still have a huge block down at 39.60. Blocks coming in at 39.72. We'll see when this candle ends in 1 minute. What's up, Atlanta? ATL, right? Is that what they say? Do you find trading in the mini versus the micro to be the same or better in terms of action? They are different assets, so they do trade differently, although they're the same index. It's a negligible amount for me to notice. I have noticed that when I was trading the micros, I got to show you that on the Bookmap, that move. Holy shit. When I was trading the micros and I would watch other streamers trading the actual ones, VWAP and things like that, value area would be different, but I didn't see any notice. And look at this. Just crushed right through that and smoked VWAP. So now we're seeing a little bit of downward pressure. Oh, a little overextended though. But, you know, at least we're seeing some movement. That's more movement than we saw all yesterday. So we're going to see. And then all of this liquidity, all these sell orders, once we had all of these sell orders, they pulled them off the book. So now all that book is shifted now, and now we're playing with all new zones. So no, Robin, I don't see the major difference I saw was emotions of P&L swing, but then I stopped looking at P&L when I was in trades, and that helped. You know, so nothing really with volumes per se. Guys, I might go short here in a second. We have a 162 block sitting at 39.66 right at VWAP. I can make a nice tight stop here. I just want to see what happens one more time at VWAP. It's because we're still sitting here. They're trying to get in, but above 39.66, there's not a ton. So if it breaks through, the reason I'm not going short yet is if it breaks through that. If it breaks through VWAP, it's coming right back up there, and I don't really want to take that much heat, but there it goes. Sometimes we miss it, guys. This is how the Bookmap helps and hurts, but I'd rather get helped more than hurt. And like I said, at 39.66, there's a huge block, but there's nothing to the upside. So if it were to break through that block, if buyers were to break through that block, it would have gone all the way up to 39.70. It just would have went, whoop, this candle would have reversed. So I had to be patient and not take that VWAP bounce because the risk to reward of it spiking up through just wasn't worth it, in my opinion. And because we have time. We have time. 39.60 and 39.66 right now are the big levels, the most liquidity on the maps right now. Back up there. It's going to try and fight VWAP again. Let's see what happens. Resistance again. See resistance, resistance. This is it. Now we have more stacks. So now we might push to the downside. I'm gonna go short, guys. Let's see what happens here. Nope. See, the buyers absorbed it. Good thing I didn't. See, but now it has room to go. And we might get a pullback, but there's nothing really above it. And we still have a lot of downward pressure here. Good thing I didn't. Let's see what happens when we come up to here. See, now I can't enter here because I have to put my stop where the trade is invalidated, and the trade is invalidated way up here. So I don't want to take 4 points of heat to find out if my trade's invalidated. That's why I said I was willing to go short here, because right when it got to here, I'd have been out, right? But literally before I could make the trade, I was already stopped out. So that's good. That's good. I wouldn't be opposed to taking a short right here. See if we, I'm actually going to put an order in here. I just placed a limit sell order. My stop will be above point of control. We have all of this right here, support. We're seeing if we flush down, we had support here. If we can flush through and use this as now resistance, and I'll know soon enough. I'll know if it's resistance right away, and I'll get a little bit of downward pressure, but I'm going to be patient and see if we can pull up a little bit higher. So my stop will be that yellow line, point of control, if this does hit, and I'll probably target the low of day. We'll see what happens, or possibly VWAP. I'll be looking at the book map. Pushing, pushing. Give me a couple more points, please. Give me a couple more points, please. Let's get in a trade. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Let's see if it actually acts. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit, actually into these wicks. I would have just got filled, but I want to give another half a point. I'm looking at the book map, and I can move it up. The resistance lines are just coming up, these sellers. Huge block here at 39.70.25, which is just below my entry. So I might come in. I just want to see what happens at this level here. Buyers are trying to get there. It's kind of weak. I missed it. Missed it by a little bit. That's okay. To be honest, I wanted a bigger move, so we're going to see if it comes back up into this liquidity. This is one thing I've gotten much more patient with, guys. Once you set your limit entry, you have to put it there and you have to be patient. Don't rush into a trade because it's getting close. Did I kind of miss this one? Yeah. I mean, if I wouldn't have moved it, right, if it would have been at the top of this candle, I would have gotten filled here at 39.60 and it would have drawn down a little bit. But I'm just looking on the book map, still a ton of liquidity. Let me see all this up here. That's going to take a lot of buyers to get through there. So that's why I'm happy there. I'm going to get filled. Let's see. I'm filled. I'm in, guys. Stop's going to be a point of control. And we could see 39.65 is pretty much going to be my target, which is VWAP. So I'm going to put my target in right here, 39.66. And I'm going to guarantee that I break even on this trade. I'm going to put my stop in right here. I'm not going to be a dick for a tick, guys. I'm going to get out of there. Some liquidity just popped up on the book map. It did flush through, guys. Just remember, like sometimes this hurts when you get out of a trade and you see, let me show you what I saw and why I got out of that just before my target.
this popped up on the book. It was here. All right. And then I saw this start to stack in here, and I was like, okay, so now it has to fight through this, and this is still here. So I want to make sure, even though I could have went down below, this was a good enough profit for me, and we could see it kind of pulled back. So I'm happy taking that trade. Currently 1 for 1 on the day. And so it's a good thing I took that trade, guys. There is a quote like, don't be a dick for a tick. If you have any questions about that trade. But if we look at the points here, that got me $200. So I got in at 39.6675, and I was able to sell out at 39.7075 for a 200-point gainer. On the day, that puts me, I did take a little morning trade. This puts me at $205 for the day. Just definitely going to see if we can get some more. No losing trades. Took 2 trades today. So that longest trade, that was 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Average time of trade, 158. Inside Tradovate, they tell me all of these things. So it gives you your winning percentages. It gives you all these things. You do pay commissions and fees on this website. You're going to do that when you're playing like this. It's worth it. That's the one thing actually I've seen with the one downside, as well as the minis versus the micros, is the micros, the commissions to the tick value, it like eats away more at your profits than the other one does, than these ones do. Like if you're playing poker and there's like antes and blinds, right, and you have a short stack, those antes and blinds affect your stack a lot more than if you had a big stack. That I kind of see that here, trading the micros as opposed to them, trading the minis as opposed to the micros. See, this is a huge block, guys. Stacked blocks. And like I said, the good thing about Bookmap is you can see how long they've been on the map for. They're not somebody that just like popped it up here to try and push the market up. These are buyers that have been hanging out for minutes, saying, "No, come on down and mess with me. And if you want to sell through me, you can sell through me, but I'm going to act as resistance." And that just happens to align perfectly with VWAP. So here's where the 9 EMA doesn't help me that much, only because it's diddling in the middle. Granted, this trade was a diddle in the middle, but these value areas have changed since then. And this was strictly a VWAP scalp. Now what I'm kind of watching, and I don't really draw trends unless I'm trying to show people, but if you're in my Discord, you know how much I love this. If I can see a break of this, and because we're at VWAP, it makes it a little bit more interesting. But here's where things start to stack and you start to get a little bit more confirmation, right? We got this trending down. If we can get the 9 EMA to break below VWAP, we have the MACD crossing down, and we have a bear flag. If we break down through the low, the value area low, there's a pretty good chance that we could tumble a little bit more. So right now I'm just watching this bear flag breakout and see what happens. Now in the past with these bear flags, I'll tell you, I have rushed them, where like as soon as it broke my little trend, I was like, I'm in, and then it snaps here and then it comes back, right? It kind of like tricks people, it traps people into going short, and then it bounces and reverses. I've learned to avoid that. So also too, because your trend line, I know people are trying like line it up perfectly with the bottoms. Just put it here just to remind yourself that it's a trend. Don't put it there as an entry point. Just to remind yourself that you have a little bit of a downward trend, But to get really out of this flag breakout, what does it have to do? It has to come down really below these wicks and even possibly these wicks here. So just by it breaking my trend a little bit here, I'm not going to get overexcited and try and get in too soon. This is the 5-minute. We can see a lot different 9 EMA. This is definitely a diddle in the middle situation, but we still see that same bear flag. So I'll use the 5 and the 3 to confirm bear flags. And as we talked about in the pre-market, you guys can go back and reverse. That 39.70 we knew was going to be a big one, and we were looking to see if it could break down through, retest, and then we're going to look down to 39.50 possibly. I don't know if I'm going to be trading that long into the day, but we shall see. Bouncing right off that 9 EMA. There is some liquidity on the bookmap there, the 9 EMA, but I definitely hold much more weight in VWAP than the 9 EMA. And like I said, indicators, guys, they are what you make them, right? Some people, they help, but what I found out is indicators are not points of entry, okay, or points of exit. They are to remind you of your trading style and of your edge, and they are to confirm things with you. Like I said, the MACD, I'm not looking right now for this MACD to cross up so that I can go long. No. I'm waiting for this MACD to cross and show an upward trend so that I don't trade against the trend. I'm not going to try and go short. Like I went short right here with the trend. All right. And sometimes it'll look so juicy to trade against the trend, and I've only been burnt. Right. So right now, this is looking strong to come up to value area high, and it's even looking strong on the book map. I'm not going to lie. This looks like a potentially good long situation, but my strategy says, Brad, do not trade against the trend. Maybe yours does. Maybe that allows in your strategy. In my strategy, it says, Brad, do not trade against the trend, so I'm just going to sit on my hands. Not to mention, it's hard to go long into all of this, all these orders. But I can't go short into them either, because if we see this nice, strong buy action here, right? Now we go from 70 to 75. I'm down $250 before I find out my trade is invalidated, right? That's why I can't go short thinking that this might be resistance. I don't know if it's going to be. It's looking like it might be. But if we get some buyers, the heat that I have to take before I can exit, I don't want more than like 2 points of a stop. I don't. So if we chart to pull and we slowly eat these away, and it's like a little slow grind into 30, into 72, I might be able to go short at like 71, 71, 75, because then I know that if we get buyers through this 79, 72, I can get out. Just bounced off VWAP. This is a VWAP bounce right here. You could see, boom. First test is usually the good one, so let's see if we get that bounce off of VWAP, and then we can come back down and maybe see value area low, which we can see that buyers are starting to step into the market and put some orders on the books. But we still have this huge stack, which may act as resistance or encourage buyers to drive up the price. We'll see. We're not going to predict. We're going to react. What are you guys trading today? Are you guys trading? Are you guys just watching? Are you guys green? Are you guys red? How are we doing today on this Tuesday? I got to go check my wheel stocks. The market pretty much flat right now. You can see that the SPY, the ES, is pretty much at 0.2%, only 11 points up on the day. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Pretty much shows that my wheels aren't going to be doing anything much. Maybe if we get to the end of this trading day, I'll show you the wheels. See if we need to close anything. I'll look at my phone to see if it's worth going over there. So my Peloton put 50%. They dove a little bit yesterday after having a pretty good streak upwards. But I'm not ready to close that yet. I'll close it tomorrow if I need to. Hold on, I'm just watching this trend. Nah, we're going to wait. Don't know if this is a slow grind to the upside or not. There's huge blocks at 72, 75. Pretty much right at these highs where we entered last time. But it's showing a pretty nice flag. So, I mean, I have to see what this block does at 79, 72. My other wheels, HPQ is up 53%. My Google call is up 58%. SWBI call up 13%. So we'll see. See what happens. I'll probably check in on those a little bit later. If you're inside the Discord, if I happen to roll or close all those, you guys can do that. If you're not in the Discord, the link is down in the description below. SoFi covered calls that are super green after the plunge yesterday, so I'm probably just sitting tight. Nice. I mean, are you in the, first off, are you in the Discord? Second off, do you close your covered calls at a certain percentage, or are you trying to get to expiration? I'm always curious because, I mean, my camp is pretty much the camp of like, do not let wheel trades get to expiration. So if you got a super nice plunge and you're like 75% in the green, you know, you can, depending on what your cost basis is, buy to close that bad boy and open another one, you know, for not this Friday, the following Friday. You'll get that extra premium back in theta because it's like almost 12 days away. And we'll see. JJ does love SoFi, but I don't think he's worried. JJ, you still here? I don't think he's worried because he is bullish and he knows that this is just a part of the time. And I think he's just going to be looking to you know, cost average down. Wow, we just annihilated that block. Let me show you. Here was that block that was sitting around forever, right? And then look at this pressure. We had green into the pressure. Greens absorbed all those buyers. The market consolidated and reset for 30 seconds because that's what these are on. And then we started to work our way up to the next block. And we're pretty much approaching high of the day, which this is high of the day. High of the day in the overnight session as well as the trading session. So now we're up on value area high. We'll keep the same exact strategies not to trade into that. And also we're up $200 on the day. So we're also going to be, we're in capital preservation mode. So the more green I am on the day, the tighter my trades are going to be, to be honest. Close around 70, but I'm flexible. Depends on how long the call is. Yes, that's cool. I trade 30. Okay. So if I get very close to 52-week lows. I'm curious, Bagel, why do you trade the wheel on 45 to 30 days out, 30 to 45 days out? Just curious. I'm happy to talk the wheel. I love it. Even though we're day trading futures right now, guys, hit the like button if you're still watching futures with me. It'll show me that I should probably do this again tomorrow. I can see going further out in, oh, it's not a wheel. Okay. All right. So you're avoiding assignment. All right. I can definitely see why you'd want to be 30 to 45 days out. I mean, I try and avoid assignment as well, but I don't mind being assigned if it happens. And I also watch the markets every day. And I just enjoy the theta decay of shorter expirations on my wheels and things like that. That's why I asked. I was just curious. Nice. Definitely start start paper trading. It's hard because paper trading there's not that emotional um, there's not that emotional toll of like losing money per se, but you'll find out that like to be a good trader consistently, you're not going to worry about money anyway, right? So paper trading is good. Um, and then when you want a little bit more skin in the game, I'm going to be talking about using prop firms soon on the channel as well. I've started to experiment with some prop firms where essentially that you show them that you know how to trade and they'll stake you some money to trade with. And then when you get comfortable with that, then you could go up to your own personal funded account. But um, I wish I didn't dive right into I wish I would have paper traded more, I think, when I first started. Kenny B. We've all done it. We've all been there. At least it's not Peloton. Actually, I'm going to be updating Peloton in my newest video. I've been selling puts on them to try and average down, but oh, right on. So you are in the simulator. Awesome. Good. It's exactly so you know what you're looking at exactly, you know what I see. So that's good. That's good. Just chopping around, guys. Just chopping around. Top of the hour just passed. Still huge blocks. I'm not going to be entering a trade anytime soon, so let me show you the book map again. Guys, if you are trading or you want to see if it'll help your trading, there is a link for book map. You can try it out for free. It is a paid service. It is a little bit on the expensive end if you're not going to use it. Not expensive, but I mean, I guess expensive is relative. So we need to get above this. This is highs of the day. But if we get through 80, I think we see 85. Now, is that enough for me to take a long? I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to look for the next swing high here, which the next swing high is about 90, 94. So that would really be the next area to test. I just zoomed out. I just want to show you what I'm looking at. So this was yesterday here. We could see it started the day, and then this was the day before. So this is the 18th. We had highs that we're approaching now, and then we kind of have room up until 95. So we'll see how that works out. This one's weird. I got to skip this one. Sometimes the lo-fi beats get a little weird. Sometimes people ask, like, where does this trend end for me? We're pretty much there. I mean, I could keep this trend going because it can, but I don't consider this a flag anymore. Yeah, I like SWBI. They're not going away. I don't hate along here, but pretty close to the top of the range. We do have a bunch of things stacked up, and I am green on the day, so I'm trying to preserve capital a little bit. Take a $200 winner, right? For anybody that just got here, this is the trades. 2 trades today. A small little trade that was good for $12.50 on a break even, and a $200 trade. It's got me up $205 on the day after fees and commissions. I'm an open book, guys, so you can just ask me whenever you need to see that if you just entered. Yeah, $200 a day would allow me to quit my job, so I'm super excited. Yeah, I mean, I am not one of those people that will ever fight for like huge P&L days. I know that there's some people, and I even watch some people stream that like get excited about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. That's like their target for the day. I personally don't see how that's sustainable. Like my risk to reward ratio is just not there. I love the phrase $500 a day keeps the day job away. For my lifestyle and where I live, that's about what I would need. But this is definitely just a fun little game that I like to play, and I happen to be making some money off it. Feed with Vicky. Man, long time. What a refreshing name to see. How are you, Vicky? Glad to see you. Man, Vicky, you've been around. Probably one of my first 250 subscribers, I bet. Been following each other now for what, 5 years? Damn. Long time. Hope you're well. I know you're crushing it a lot more than me. You're the one that should have 100,000 subscribers. Vicky's killing the real estate game over there in San Francisco. Still doing real estate in San Francisco. And I know Vicky, San Francisco is kind of getting a bad rap these days, but I only know what I see on the news. Really, it's got to break 80 here, guys, for continued upside. If it breaks 80, we got 234. This 80 block is so red it's purple. We're gonna need a ton of buyers to get through this, guys. A ton of buyers. 246 lots on the books. Another 232 up here at 85. It's gonna take a lot of buyers. I'm not saying it can't be done. It's gonna take a lot of buyers. I think it's more realistic that we come down and test this 39.74 again, which is pretty much the 9 EMA on my books. But we're going to, at some point today, this 39.80 will be battled. We just don't know when yet. We'll find out. Maybe we'll be a part of that battle. Maybe we will not. Only have 2 properties. It's 2 more than I got. Only got 2. That's like me saying I only made $200 day trading today. Consistently posting is pretty important. Just depends, that consistency, what I found out over the years on YouTube, it doesn't matter if that consistency is 3 times a week, 2 times a week, 1 time a week, 1 time a month, as long as, like, I think I post maybe once a week now, maybe even once every 10 days, but I'm consistent with that once every 10 days. Here we go. Let's see. The battle of 80 begins. Just said it. Here's the first touch. But it didn't really knock down any liquidity. Even though that volume, more sellers just stepped right in. So let's see if it tries it again. We have double top on the 3-minute chart. If it breaks through, it's going to go. It's going to go from 80 to 82 quick. There, boom. See if buyers want to go. So there's the 80 to 82. And guys, that's a scalp right there. I'm not trying to do a 10-second scalp like that, but that's how scalpers are using the Bookmap. They're sitting here waiting with a limit order just above it. They buy, and then they have a close for a 1-point scalp, which is, depending on how many contracts they have, good for 50, 500, depending. But that's what we're looking for on the Bookmap, this huge green to get rid of that huge 80 block. Now, in my opinion, we're going to come back and retest this as support. This might be a good spot where we start to now think about this 84.5 block. I'm not ready to do that just yet. I just want things to develop a little bit more. We're still super choppy, and I just want to see a little bit more direction, especially when I'm preserving capitals on my win for today already. I'm going to let this develop. I got to go use the restroom. I drink a lot of water and coffee in the morning. I'll be right back. Using the restroom is always a good reminder to get some more water. So we said we were going to push all the way up to, if we broke that 80, we were going to push all the way up to 85, and we sure did, huh? And guys, it's easy to, in hindsight, to, think that, wow, that's 3 things in a row that we called out that were right. Those are low probability things, and by me talking them out, I'm pretty much talking my strategy to myself. But like I said, I can't use the book map. There has to be other things. I have a checklist, and the more things you have on your checklist to enter and exit, the tighter you're going to be and the more profitable you're going to be. And when I started to loosen up on my checklist and like just depend on the MACD or just depend on the book map, that's when I got myself into trouble. Now I'm making higher quality trades because my checklist is a little bit longer. And in hindsight, I say to myself a lot like, you would have been right. Or, you were right. It blasted through 80 and went to 85. If you would have went long there, you would have got a 5-point trade. But there was other things on my checklist that just didn't match. So I have to take that L, and I have to lose by omission instead of commission. Definitely, Vicky, definitely. It's been a long time. To give you some perspective on time, Vicky, you were an amazing support and help when my father passed away, and that was 4 years ago this week. So, that's an incredible, how fast time goes. That was 4 years ago that you were helping me with my dad passing away. Still got this last PBR. And not many people know that PBR, that was the last PBR in his fridge. It's still there. I'll drink it with him one day. I'm not opposed, guys, to going long here at value area high. So remember, the same reason that I took this short, right? When we came down through, we had a bunch of consolidation and support here, okay? And then we had some pull, and then we flushed through that support, and we were going to see if this was going to act as resistance, and we were going to get some downside movement. So we took that scalp, all right? The same thing has happened here. We have this topside consolidation that we've now moved through, and now we're going to come back and test that topside. So here's some things on my checklist. I got the MACD trending upwards. We're green on the day. We're trending upwards. 9 EMA, VWAP, all trending upwards. We have this line of support here, and we have all this consolidation support. So if we see a move into here, I'm not opposed to going long. Pardon me, that was kind of loud. There is some volume, some orders like a 135 block at 139.79. The only hesitation is there's not a ton of downside support until like 39.75, which is kind of right here is the next block. So my question is, do I want to enter here and take this heat because my trade won't be invalidated till really in this region here? Or do I want to be a little bit more patient because we're green on the day and maybe enter at like 77 and then know that we have a 2-point stop, 75? That's probably more likely going to be what I do. So that's the mindset there. A little bit more patient. I might be a little bit more aggressive if I wasn't green on the day, but I said, I really want to be patient into like the 77. We can see how much volume was conducted here at 77.13. That could act as a little bit of support as well. So I might try and go long right around here with a nice 2-point stop below this candle here in this range. Yeah, option 2 always. Option 2 always. Always, when we're trading, guys, always on the side of caution. And there's also these things called brackets, guys. Maybe I'll show you a bracket. You can set, so when you enter a trade, let me just put a limit right down here. Actually, I'll do it way down here. So when you place a trade, if I did like a buy limit, see how it puts the red dotted lines above and below? I mean, that makes it kind of annoying, but let's do it right here. Oh, it didn't do it this time. Oh, there it is. I probably have to enter the trade. Oh, yeah, there it is. So see when I buy, they put those red lines above and below. You can set automatic stops and automatic take profits if you want as you enter a trade. If I go long, maybe I'll do it to show you because I know that's going to be a 2-point, and it's called 2-point stop. So that's where I have that 2-point stop. And it's only going to execute those stops if I make that main trade. I am a little hesitant. There's currently not a ton of liquidity on the books to the downside, which does leave a little bit room for free fall, especially if I break this 79.50. A little bit more liquidity popping up there. Still a lot of topside blocks. That's a huge wall. So it's like when you look at this, is it seem more likely that buyers are going to push through this to 90? Or does it look like sellers might be able to push this and then let this go back down? That's why I'm a little bit hesitant right now and why I say that I want to go in at value area high, but the Bookmap is kind of a part of my checklist of why I might not, especially when I'm up $200 on the day and I'm green. And I would love to just end this day and go for the second workout of the day at 11 o'clock with a nice green money bag, you know? Once I see this kind of develop out and we see what happens here, that I might call for the day. You guys, if you're in my Discord, you know I like to end at 11 o'clock, guys. Also very important when you're trading. Have a time that you either walk away, whether that's a profit target, daily loss, or time of day. I sat down today at 9 o'clock, so 2 hours is the most I'm willing to put. And then I will not look at the market for the rest of the day. Sometimes I'll check Power Hour just to see, or my friends will call me and say, hey, have you seen this? But after I'm done trading, I do not look at the markets. I'm done. Like, that's it for the day. You know, and then sometimes things happen in the afternoon. Everyone's like, oh, you missed that move. It's like, I didn't miss that move because I was spending time with my family, or I didn't miss that move because I was out on a run or out on a bike ride or editing a video or talking with the Discord. Like, there's always something to do besides watch the markets. Trying to clear that 79 block. An 81 block just popped up. See, so here's that downside. I know I keep going back to Bookmap buys, but so this just popped on the books as we're hitting the 79. So now we got to see if the threat of these sellers or a buyer is going to say, no, go away. Buyers are either going to tell this 39.81 to go away, or sellers are going to say, nope, we're going down and we're going to play below 39.79. Buyer said, I want this level. Seller said, I don't know about that. And we'll see who's in control here. This is a big level here. Coming into the 39 EMA. So we see big reds, big reds. The block is pretty much staying the same, though, in the 130s. Big reds. Still going up to 140. That block is building. We need a lot more sellers to get through. 178. We need a lot more sellers to get through. A lot of sellers needed. 170, 172. Strong resistance. If sellers can take control of this level, we are going to go down, but they still have a lot of work to do. Here's buyers saying, I've had enough of this. Sellers giving one more last-ditch effort, throwing some money on the blocks. Buyer said, I'll take that. Thank you so much for playing. Seller said, oh, come on. Don't we want to go down? And buyers are saying, nope, we don't. We're going to stay right here and consolidate right around the 9 EMA, right around the value area high. And now we're stuck really in this 1 point zone of like, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Yeah, bound, you need them, man. Things I've learned over a year. Can't enter a trade here until we know what happens. Who wins this? 81.79. 81.79. Who wins? Buyers or sellers? Who's going to win? Oh, buyers removed the block. Sellers came right back. And I guess here's where gut intuition could come into play. You could gamble one side or the other and have your stops right above or below where you enter. With the green on the day, I would like to think that buyers are going to win this battle. But sellers just smacked that level that's been around for a little bit. Let's see if buyers respond. If not, we're going to have a little bit of downward motion because there's no blocks to the downside. And there's still that building block at 81. So this is where we might see a case for a reversal. We have all of this at the top side. Look at all this. Nothing to the downside. That screams reversal. We need buyers. Oh, we need a ton of buyers. A ton. And they might push through and get some of this liquidity out of here. But the higher they go, the deeper the blocks get. So it's going to be a lot of work for the buyers. Nothing still to the downside. Nothing to the downside. Seller's still saying we're good. Let's see what it looks like on the chart. So on the chart, we can see pretty much doji candles just hanging out, saying what do we want to do? We had a point of control flip, meaning that this is where all the most volume is taking place throughout the day. We still have the trend of this support line, so that would really mean I can't go short. Right? Because if I go short, I have this support right here. So where am I going to go? And I can't go long because I'd have to take heat all the way. I'd have to take drawdown all the way down to this line. Not willing to do that. So I can't go long. I can't go short. I'm just screwed. Just sitting here. Can't go long. Can't go short. Our pets' heads are falling off. Give us a couple more minutes, guys. It is nice to know that my computer didn't get evaporated by all of this work that it's doing. Good on you, Apple. Everyone says Apple can't handle it. Guys, I'm running two data feeds, one with Bookmap with all of that visual, my brokerage, the live stream, the chat, all on a MacBook Pro. Good for you, MacBook Pro. Can't wait for my PC, but thank you, MacBook Pro. Man, a lot of work. A lot of work to get up here. To get up to 90. What do you think? Do you think we have enough buying pressure the 2 days before Thanksgiving to get through this? I think we're going to consolidate and chop around that. And for that reason, guys, I think I'm going to call it today. I just don't want to participate in these books. Like I said, I don't really have much room to go short. I don't really have much room to go long. I just don't see the strength. kind of been chopping around. I just don't know. But let me tell you this. I do know. By that one statement, I do know. If you're sitting around and you're not sure, that means that you're probably trying to force it, and I feel like I might be forcing it just to stay on the live stream. I'm taking my $205 and I'm getting out of here, guys. I'll be in the Discord. If I decide after my afternoon workout I want to hop back on, maybe trade Power Hour. I hope this was educational for you. If it was, please leave a thumbs up or something like that, or I don't know, leave a comment after this. I'll leave this up on Brad Finn Live. If you somehow stumbled upon this, you could check out my main channel, Brad Finn. If you want to look more into Bookmap, there's tons of videos on YouTube. I'm going to be doing one as well. And you can click the link down in the description below and get your free trial of that. But yeah, like I said, this price action, I'm not sure that I really want to force anything and give any money back. And I kind of have a feeling that we're just going to chop around here for a little bit. And if it does move, I just missed it, but I missed it with $200 in my pocket. With that said, guys, I appreciate you. And I thank you for joining me today for this live stream. Cheers.